Greetings, Culturians, and welcome back. And of course, I have bad news today. Rachel Zegler is back. Or is she? We've got some controversy there, and this story is a lot of fun, so I thought I would cover it. Plus, just to remind everybody how badly she destroyed the previous couple of films. She's not a very nice person, she's not a terribly talented actress, and she's a marginal singer at best. So, what's so enticing of bringing her back? The opportunity to destroy another movie? We got to talk about it, so here we go. Now, before we get started, just a quick reminder, I'm trying to get to 50K by the end of the year, so double check you're still subscribed, hit the thumbs up button, and do make some comments towards the end of the video, because I'm sure you have plenty of thoughts on the return of Rachel Zegler. Anyway, you remember this article back on March 26th when Marvin wrote this on That Park Place? Vanity throws Rachel Zegler under the bus for the Snow White failure in Wild About Face hit piece. But was Disney behind the wheel? A lot of questions going on about what happened post-release of Snow White. Was it Disney leaning on the trades to kind of throw all the shade at Rachel? Or did the trades just finally wake up and realize, well, she needed all that shade all along? Those are both good questions, but that's not what we're here to answer. We need to talk about whether or not it's a good idea for Rachel Zegler to come back. My argument is no. It's absolutely the worst time. She hasn't rehabbed her image at all. It's not like anybody forgot how terrible she was as a human being. And it's not like her not Broadway career in the UK. It didn't really seem to elevate her in one particular way, and also showed her to be, well, somewhat disingenuous and not willing to share the spotlight. Because when she went out, her understudy got a standing ovation for her excellent performance. That is neither here nor there. But why would she be coming back now? That's the biggest question and part of the conversation that, well, I want to explore. So let's. Gloria Estefan says Rachel Zegler will play her in a movie that doesn't exist. Yeah, that's right. This Sour Patch Kid turned actress is supposedly going to play Gloria Estefan, or at least she'd like to. It seems like this film doesn't exist yet, so why are we even talking about it? There's a reason, and we'll explore it right now. From the story, Gloria Estefan claims Rachel Zegler will play her in a upcoming biopic. The only problem is that the movie doesn't exist and no role has been offered. Plus, after Snow White disaster, is Rachel Zegler really Hollywood choice for anything? Gloria Estefan is celebrating 50 years in music, a career filled with 8 Grammys, 100 million records sold, and a Presidential Medal of Freedom. But this week, the conga singer made headlines for something entirely unexpected, claiming that Rachel Zegler is set to play her in an upcoming biopic. There's just one little problem. The film doesn't exist. I'd say that's more than one little problem. There's a lot of other problems in that I don't think anybody's going to make this just yet. And I'm not sure what Gloria's health is like, but I don't know why there's a rush. I also don't know why she's not playing herself. She still looks, pretty young. Regardless, Estefan told The Sun that she's still working on the green light and hasn't even offered Zegler the part yet. And yet it's made it all the way to the trades and several of the rags out there that people actually pay attention to. We're figuring out where to do it, how to do it, she said. This has been in the works for quite a while, a few years now. I just need to offer her an actual part, so we need to be greenlit completely, and we're almost there. Almost there is not very there in Hollywood. You have to have a greenlit project before you're supposed to get this kind of press. And I think that's Marvin's whole point to begin with. Why are we talking about this if it's not even done? Why are we throwing hope at somebody who doesn't deserve it when Hollywood is going to treat her like a leper for quite some time? Not that I'm attacking lepers, I'm just attacking Rachel Zegler. So, forgive me, please. In other words, Marvin eloquently writes, in no studio, no financing, no deal, and no contact. But sure, Rachel Zegler is set to play her. She's not even been offered the role. And if this sounds like an attempt to attach a once bankable name to a film that's still a wild fantasy, that's because it probably is. Zegler's career has been in freefall ever since Snow White turned into Disney's most avoidable train wreck of the decade. And Estefan's comments might be the first time anyone in Hollywood has even pretended to want to work with her since. And I think that's very clear. Rachel Zegler's fall from Disney grace was pretty drastic. It's hard to believe now that Rachel Zegler entered Hollywood as Steven Spielberg's next big thing. She was handpicked to star in West Side Story, hailed as fresh talent, and quickly lined up one of the most iconic roles in movie history, Disney's Snow White. This all because, I guess, well, West Side Story failed, wasn't a winner in the box office. It also was a bad idea to, not decide to translate the entire script into English, make it a struggle for everybody that was going to be mildly interested in this overdone classic. What a mess. Then came the interviews and the attitude, and we all know what that was. This is the weirdest meme of all times in human form. I mean, weird. And during the Snow White press tour, Zegler openly mocked the 1937 original, claiming the prince literally stalks Snow White and calling the classic story outdated. And of course, I did the weird meme already. She promised her version would be more modern and empowered, which meant more woke and garbage. And, well, she definitely lived up to those two things. That comment alone would have been enough to alienate lifelong Disney fans, but Zegler wasn't done. At Disney's D23 event, while promoting the $270 million film, she decided to add Free Palestine to her social media post, celebrating the trailer's 120 million views, while ignoring the historic number of dislikes that plagued that particular video, which was epic. People really didn't like it. That political statement attached to the marketing for a family movie left Disney executives blindsided and led to a reported increase in death threats against her Israeli Snow White co-star Gal Gadot and her young children, of course. Disney was forced to pay for additional security to keep Gal Gadot and her family safe in the wake of Zegler's comment. And Variety later reported that producer Mark Platt personally flew to New York to confront Zegler about the outburst. She didn't back down, and the post stayed up. Then came another outburst after the 2024 presidential election, when she posted "Flip Donald Trump" and made Trump and his supporters never know peace. For a company that depends on families, flyover state audiences, and parents buying tickets for their kids, it was the marketing equivalent of setting off fireworks in a dynamite factory. Marvin certainly has a way with words, doesn't he? By this time, Snow White finally hit theaters in March of 2025. The damage was done. They'd shot the film 3 times, almost in its entirety, and the film opened to just 87 million worldwide, less than half of what analysts expected, despite the enormous budget and, of course, our reporting trying to tell them to slow their roll because this was a disaster. For a project that Disney hoped would earn billions of dollars and racked up massive price tag due to extensive reshoots, that was catastrophic. Well, it was predictable. I think Disney should have come on board and checked out what we at the CultureCasino already knew. If you're a Culturian, you saw this coming. One rival studio exec told Variety, "You can't say that a live-action remake of the most iconic film in the vault that cost $270 million and has been reshot multiple times, opening to $50 million is okay. The math doesn't work." Or, to say what the kids say, the math doesn't math. No, it didn't. And neither did Zegler's public image. The actress who wouldn't listen, and she never has, nor does she now. I think she's just comfortable with tripping over her own feet all the time. But it wasn't just audiences that turned away. Inside Disney, the studio had grown tired of Zegler's defiance. She reportedly refused to curb her online behavior until the company hired a social media consultant at their expense to review her posts, which I think should be done for every slightly weirded out, TDS suffering actor and actress in Hollywood. I think every single studio should do that to just try to save their projects, because I think going forward, this is the example of what the worst case scenario is. It's almost actually unheard of for a studio to babysit a star's Instagram account, but Disney had no choice. Zegler had become a PR liability attached to a $270 million family film that many allege hit well over $300 million before marketing, and we'll know more because it was produced in the UK. And we're going to get those numbers, and we're going to find it's well over $300 million. By the time the film flopped, it was clear that Zegler's Hollywood honeymoon was over. The trade stopped calling her a rising star and started calling her a controversial figure. And that's exactly what you want to be when you're banking on a lifetime of filmmaking and those paychecks that go along with it. For me, this is just one in a series of miscalculations by the people just trying to do the best for themselves and perhaps for this actress. I don't think Gloria Estefan thought much about what the public persona actually was and what that would actually do to her person and her personality score, which is kind of high for most fans out there. So now the Gloria Estefan connection. Gloria Estefan, who appears to genuinely admire Zegler's musical talent, at least from afar, which would have to be the only way she got to hear it because it's never really been on full display. She told The Sun she met the actress over Zoom and praised her performance in Evita on London's West End. Well, that would have been, she would have been in London. Maybe she didn't realize she could have just asked to meet her while she was there. She's got a beautiful singing voice, and she's a great actor, Estefan said, clearly not having viewed enough of, well, the last two films that Zegler's been in, because they've been equally awful and didn't show any talent whatsoever. That's sweet, but no amount of enthusiasm can change the fact that the film isn't even real yet. Estefan admitted the project doesn't have a studio, a director, or funding. Oh, no. It isn't an adaptation of her Broadway musical On Your Feet, which I think is really kind of amazing, and currently exists only as an idea in development limbo. I don't know if I have to tell you this. This project has at best a 50-50% chance of getting a go or a green light. And if it does, it's going to have to be because of some kind of terrible event or aging, which means it could be decades away from now. And who knows what Rachel Zegler has said between then and when it's made, or what kind of a rump she's made out of herself since, well, the last time. Regardless, my prediction has always been that Hollywood is done with Rachel Zegler, and I don't think you have to guess why. The pendulum in this nation is swinging back the other direction pretty quickly and with a lot of momentum, and I don't think Zegler fits into any of that or into the future of any project going forward. But hey, I could be wrong. What do you think? Let me know your opinion on Zegler returning to Hollywood and actually making the Gloria Estefan story in the comments section below. Is there a chance? Do you think that Snow White was not as bad as described? Do you think that she's learned anything from her terrible results on social media the last couple of years? And do you think somehow she can improve as an actress or a singer or both? Because I think she has to. On that note, we're done with the video, so let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. As always, Culturians, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others. Be sure to wash your hands because it's good hygiene. And until next time, see ya! Probably not talking about Rachel Zegler.